Hola, ¿qué pasa? This is and I am Been Around the World, currently hanging out in my apartment in Ecuador, and today we are going to be talking about the monthly cost of living. More specifically, the cost of living for the month of September for myself and my girlfriend, what we spent. These numbers are no guarantee of what it'll cost you to live in Ecuador, the monthly cost of living, but it'll give you a general idea. You can spend less, especially if you're a lone traveler on a fixed budget, and you can certainly spend more, especially if you like to live the life of luxury. As economical as we are, we stayed in a pretty nice apartment, and we did like to eat out twice a week. So however much you spend is sort of up to you, but this will give you a general idea. Let's get into it. The first expenditure is accommodations or rent. We did book our apartment through Airbnb, and we did take a video tour of it, and if you're interested in checking it out, look through the videos on my channel and you can see our apartment. And that apartment we paid $400 a month in rent. Also included in rent was all the utilities, which was pretty cool. So rent, all utilities like water, electric, internet, that was a total of $400 a month, which is pretty good. Next on the list is eating out. That is actually where we spent most of our money. We don't tend to make a whole lot of our meals at home, and we do eat out about twice a day. And our total was $453 for the month of September. We usually ate our breakfast in the small diner around the corner of our house, and then for lunch or dinner we would usually walk to the neighboring town of Montañita, and we would visit one of the restaurants in there. So again, the monthly budget for eating out for the month of September was $453. Next up is groceries or shopping. Like I said, we did eat out about twice a day, but we did try to eat at least one of our meals in the house. So we did some grocery shopping. Also, we did some shopping for, essential things for like the house, paper towels, toilet paper, soap, dish detergent, that sort of stuff. And for the month of September, we spent about $157. Next on the list is transportation. Now in September, we stayed in the town of Manglaralto, which is a pretty quiet, sleepy little town, and when we wanted something more lively, we would usually go into the next town of Montañita, where there's a lot more action. And even though we normally would walk to the next town, it's a short walk down the beach, at night when it was time to come home, we would usually take a taxi. Not just because we were a little bit more lazy at the end of the night, but also at night high tide tends to come in and it doesn't make the beaches as accessible. So we would normally walk to Montañita and then we would take a cab back. And the taxis were pretty cheap, about $150. We'd usually round it up to $2 with the tip. And we spent $56 for the month of September. Also included in the transportation budget was the $23 it took us to get to our next destination. Even though I really enjoyed the month in Manglaralto, like I said earlier, it was a sleepy little town, population of about 4,000 people, and there's only so much to do there. And I was born and raised in the city, and so I miss city life. So at the end of the month, we moved to the big city of Guayaquil, which is where we are now, and we took a cab to the bus station and took a bus to Guayaquil, and then from the bus station in Guayaquil we took a cab to our new apartment. So that cost us about $23 to get to our new apartment in the big city, and that's included in the $56 total for our transportation costs here in Ecuador. Now, here in Guayaquil, they do have taxis, which we will probably utilize some of the time, but they also have a pretty efficient public transportation system, buses, and we're looking to learn that. So hopefully for the month of October, we cut down a bit on our transportation costs. Next up on the list is phone, what we spend for phone. If you show up to Ecuador from America, you might already have like an international carrier, and that's fine, but you know, that could be quite a bit of money that you spend. What I suggest you do is to use a local carrier. As soon as we landed in the airport here in Ecuador, I picked up a SIM card, and there was a kiosk at the airport station for the local carrier Tuenti. There are other options, but Tuenti is the carrier that I went with. I bought the SIM card and 2 gigs of data for about $20, and then later on in the month I spent another $5 to top it off when my data ran out. So for the month of September, I spent $25 for my phone service. My girlfriend opted not to bother buying a SIM card. She just uses the Wi-Fi in the house on her phone when she wants to make calls or messing around on the internet on her phone. And sometimes when we're out, we in cafes or whatever, if they have free Wi-Fi, she picks it up there. But ultimately she decided it wasn't so important for her to get a SIM card. Using the Wi-Fi was good enough for her. Let's see. Next on the list is laundry. If you guys watch our video for the tour of our apartment in Manglaralto, as nice as the apartment is, you'll notice that it didn't have a washer or a dryer. So we did have to go around town and find a laundry service. And we found a pretty reasonable one that actually picked up our clothes. They came to our house, picked up our clothes, took it to their establishment, washed, dried, folded, and returned it back to the house, all in the same day. And we spent $28 for laundry for the two of us for the month of September. Also on the list we have entertainment/extras. Now, living in the sleepy town of Manglaralto for the month of September, there wasn't a whole lot to do. Like, it's a little small town, so they don't have things like shopping malls or movie theaters or amusement parks or things like that. So the entertainment was pretty limited to hanging out on the beach, which I'm a big fan of, and luckily that's free, or going out to the neighboring town of Montanita for a couple of drinks. We're not big drinkers, and when we do go out for a beer or two, drinks are cheap, so we only actually spent $30 on alcohol and usually beer. Going out for a couple of drinks, we spent $30 for entertainment and extras. Now, the only thing in that category that wasn't going out for drinks, the extra category is I had to purchase a new eyebrow piercing. We came here to Ecuador from Mexico, and on my very, very last day in Mexico, I hit my head going inside of a car, and my eyebrow piercing broke and fell out. So one of the very first things that I purchased here in Ecuador was actually a new eyebrow piercing, and that was $4. So again, a quick rundown of our monthly costs. $400 in rent. That included utilities, so for utilities it's $0. Eating out, we spent $453. Groceries and shopping for essential things for the house, we spent $157. Transportation, things like taxis and buses, we spent $56. For phone service, we spent $25. Laundry, we spent $28. And for entertainment and extra things, we spent $30. And the grand total for our monthly cost of living for the month of September here in Ecuador was $1,150, which, to be honest, really isn't too bad. I don't know where you're from. I'm from the city of Buffalo, New York, and $1,150 is probably not enough for one person to live for a whole month, let alone for two people to live. So $1,150 was our monthly budget here in Ecuador for two people, and I hope you found this information useful. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments. Please like and subscribe my channel. I would greatly appreciate it. And stay tuned. We will put out more videos now that we are here in Guayaquil. Our next video will be a video tour of our brand new apartment, and we're going to be hopefully showing you some of the things here in Guayaquil that you can experience. So until next time, this has been Around the World. Adios.